Everywhere I go, after I leave, they all feel like they are hopeless, they are powerless, they lack the power that back them, that support them. For me, I cannot focus on anything or limit myself just at anything, internally or externally, that is annoying. Or to let go or not let go is also annoying for me. It has to be without limits. It isn't about let go or not letting go. It has to be that way, so it won't be annoying. I cannot focus on anything. It's all annoying for me, because everything that we focus on is anicca, is tukkha, is anatta. I have spoken yesterday. Whenever I speak the sentences, every sentence dissolves itself. You all just haven't heard something that is direct, something that is beyond direct. You've been used to listening to something that is deceiving, that is delusional. It's like we all in the middle of samsara, in the middle of all causes of suffering. We got influenced by the surroundings, so we have to keep on dissolving on the causes of suffering all around us. As long as there is samsara, don't you ever think that you can be liberated. As to be liberated from the liberation itself. Such mindset that try to reach nibbana for one's own self, or try to be liberated for just yourself, you have to dissolve such mindset. As long as there is samsara, you cannot be liberated from the samsara. You are a samsara. A samsara is you. It isn't about let go or not letting go. It isn't about renounce or not renounce. You have to remind yourself that way, and you won't feel annoying. You won't feel annoyed by any attempt to take on a path to liberation or to nibbana. A cause of suffering is a cause that creates any path to tempt you to take on, to attain something in Dhamma. Cause of suffering and desire is the one who creates the path to all attainments. And desire is the one that makes you take on the path. So it is more than stupid to fall for that. I have to cleanse and dissolve all ideas, all mindsets. I have to speak this way. You cannot keep on following desire and cause of suffering. It's a waste of time, and it's a waste of my time that I have to come back and reset the mind of the sentient being on and on. I have to come back as soon as I can to continue the work, to cleanse the delusion, to end the delusion of the samsara. Now, human and non-human, these realms are almost the same now in terms of using the reminders. They all use the reminders to dissolve any delusion, any cause of suffering, both human and non-human. The human being realm is very important, and it is the realm that's always always the first who shift away from the truth, to be faded away from the truth. And once the humans are shifting from the truth, the non-human realms started to be affected by the thoughts of all the humans. They are influenced by the humans. The humans are full of desire, and this desire make them deluded and shift from the truth. That's why Mahabarami has to come to the earth to proclaim the truth to human realm. Once they have a desire to think that what should we do, what should we seek for, trying to find ways to achieve Nibbana, to end the suffering, try to think of themselves, how to solve the problem, to end the suffering themselves, and that become delusions. They are shifting. I work on the blessing all the time. There is no gap in my daily life that I don't work on how to bless. What language should I use? What words? What sentence that is working? Which one is not working in terms of liberation and releasing and end the suffering for the samsara and sentient beings? I have been considering and thinking about what would be the best to bless. Every time that I reflect the truth, I check the result. What is good, what is not good, what language I should use, what works and not works. And I cannot use the language that's been using. I have to think up myself, think a new way, how to use the language, this everyday language. What would be the best to reflect the truth? And I've been like this for many lifetimes continuously. I was so responsible since I was ordained. I set up my mind that I'm not going to learn Pali because I don't want to be attached to or used to Pali, and I might use it in my reflecting the truth, and some ordinary people, some common people that have knowledge of Pali wouldn't understand what I'm saying. Only I have to memorize certain sets of chanting. As a monk, as a young monk, I had to memorize certain sets of those. It gave me a bad headache because memory is anatta, but you try to grasp on the memory, try to grasp on to something that is anatta. That's why I had a headache. Now I forgot all of that, all of what made me headache. It isn't for memorizing So you have to listen to something that ends in itself in one sentence. The only effect that you need is to end after you listen, and that's it. It's not for memorizing. So I have to adjust and make up the sentence that ends in itself and help the listener to end. It's not for the listener to hear it and keep on thinking about it, try to understand it or interpret it or analyze it. If that happens, it means that the sentence doesn't work because it doesn't end for the listener, but it keeps the listener to think on it. It still stays in the listener mind that it isn't working. So you have to listen, and there is no one to understand or not understand what you have heard. That is how it works. We have to filter, go to a filtering process to see what language or what sentences, what words work. And that would not create any burden in terms of wisdom, understanding, or interpretation, and wouldn't create any cause of suffering for the listeners. We have to filtering and find out the best way to reflect the truth. So there's no point to ask when will the samsara end. There's always samsara. From not related to the non-relating itself, it won't be related to any kind of path, to any attainment. It will not be related to any condition or state of the mind or the body. It wouldn't be related. From not attached to the non-attachment itself, it wouldn't be related to any mindset or ways to attain anything. If you listen to what I have said, to what I'm saying, it will end in the desire to create any path, to attain anything, end on the desire of the one who is taking on the path to attain anything. There is no path, and there is no one taking the path. It's in the ending. You have to listen on these sentences of great compassion. It isn't about end or not end. When you hear this, it will end on the worries for you to try to end and not end. So you have to listen to something that has nothing to do with liberated or not liberated. That is how you end on the burden or fixate on trying to liberate or not liberate from anything. Once you hear it, it will dissolve on the karmic difficulty. The karmic difficulty that trying to cultivate, to develop, to achieve something. That is the karmic difficulties of delusion, of delusive attachment, of desire that always try to achieve something, trying to do something. That's always the case for normal human beings, non-noble, and also the noble beings. Even the noble ones are still trying to achieve something, trying to take on the path to Nibbana. Nibbana has no meaning. Nibbana is in Nibbana itself. Don't mix Nibbana with anything, not with any path. The path is all about desire, attachment, and delusion has nothing to do with Nibbana. In conclusion, to say it is there is no Nibbana. What? If there is no delusion, there is no Nibbana. There is Nibbana because there is delusion. So actually there is no Nibbana. Nibbana doesn't exist. There is path to Nibbana because there's delusion. If there is no delusion, there is no path to Nibbana. There is abstaining. Someone trying to abstain because there is delusion. If there is no delusion, there is no one trying to abstain. Only the delusion that make you desire to abstain or not abstain. The delusion make you become that way. It isn't about abstain or not abstain originally. You are only deluded in trying to abstain or not abstain later on. That is the result of desire and delusion. You have to listen to something that isn't about abstain or not abstain, to hear something that has nothing to do with a creator or the one who are taking the result of that creation. In both the path and the one who is taking on the path, have to remind yourself with one of the sentences. Every time you recall the reminder, you dissolve the cause of suffering internally and externally all at once. Because these reminders are the one that let go the reminders itself. They don't hold on to themselves. The effect that they dissolve itself, this sentence, it ripples out and has the same effect to dissolve the samsara all around. So every time you recall one of the sentences, the great compassion reminder, it will have an effect to dissolve everything all around you, all the cause of suffering in the samsara. There is nothing much. I can say all this in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end, without hesitation. And I never have doubt. I never have doubt in what I'm saying or the result of what I have said, because I have been considered for a long time. I have been filtering what language that I use, that I should use for many lifetimes. So I'm sure of what I am saying. For me, I'm come from a Buddha's land. I'm come from the root of the Buddha's land. I have no hesitation in saying all these sentences to dissolve and end the cause of suffering for the samsara. I have no hesitation. I only come here to review what I have known. In this life, I'm just here to review what I have known. Something that isn't about renounce or not renounce, think of that. And it will end the burden of trying to abstain and not abstain. To abstain and not abstain is still an idea. to do or not to do. That is delusional idea that you assume up yourself. Original truth has nothing to do with abstain or not abstain, or renounce or not renounce, anything. The original truth, that not even the original truth itself. Just listen. You don't have to try to analyze or interpret anything. What I'm saying, I'm just reflecting. It doesn't belong to anyone. What I'm saying, it doesn't belong to anyone. The truth doesn't belong to anyone. I'm just reflecting. I'm just reflecting the truth for you. Open up completely with everything. In balance, without hesitation, without holding back, with no attachment with anything. From something that isn't about identified or not identified. Something that isn't about grasping or not grasping. That will dissolve everything without hesitation, and it will be empty out, extinguish everything without a trace. That is Nibbana, that blesses the samsara and sentient beings.